guys, this is Miss Works, and Mr. Angel Moncada is going to be joining me here in just a few minutes. Today is Tuesday, April 21st, and this is going to be the class for White through Advanced Yellow Belt Kids Group, older kids group. And we've covered all of our basic techniques. Now we got to fine-tune those basic techniques. So we're going to be going over the high block and the knife hand. We've got some cool games for you guys to play and work on that focus and that attention span skill. So what we're going to be doing right now is breaking down this high block a little bit more. So I'm going to use my model right here. So I'll have you scoot over just a little bit. Face the camera. Just drop down, show me good horse stance right there. Okay, and just go ahead and put this high block up. Now, when you're looking at your child and they're doing a high block, there's a couple things we need to pay attention to. One, look how high he has his hand above his head. You'll notice, especially with younger kids, they're going to do this, or they're just going to want to put their hand on top of their head. This is what we don't want to happen, because anything coming down, of course, on top of your hand right here, if it's laying on your head, it's hitting your head too. So make sure it's at least where you can get a hand between their arm and their head. The next thing is we're going to look at the wrist. A lot of kids will do something funky like this. They'll bend their wrist, or they'll bend it back. Yeah, do something like that. Get it up there, man. What you're looking for is a straight wrist. This prevents any fractures. Anything heavy coming down on top, we want to keep that wrist straight, okay? So make sure they're never bending that wrist, okay? The next thing is the elbow right here is bent 120-degree angle. This is the strongest angle right here. If I had him flex his muscle, I probably couldn't pull it down. You want to try it?
This is my bad shoulder.
Oh, okay, sorry. We won't do that shoulder. But make sure it is bent. We don't want to have the 90 degree because it's real easy to pull down. So 120 degrees is what we're looking for. So for right here, they're going to go ahead and cross those arms. And they're going to do one high block. We'll count one, and then they'll cross again. And then they'll alternate two. If they have a mirror, get in front of a mirror and practice this. They can watch it themselves if they're old enough to pay attention to that. If they need moms and dad's help, you guys can pay attention to that. You're just going to have them do it real slow, kind of check those points for me. We're going to make sure we have it above the head. Straight wrist, elbow bent at 120 degrees. So you're going to count them off about 10 times. And you go ahead, 1 and 2, and they're switching each time, 3 and 4 and 5. It's not a speed drill right there. Now, if they're doing it pretty good, we're going to turn it into a game. So now at the school here, we have, of course, the martial art toys. We have blockers. We have hand pads. At home, if you don't have access to something like this, you can use a pool noodle. You can use a pillow. I've seen people take an oven mitt and put it on their hand and use it that way if you have a really thick oven mitt. But get creative on some of the things that you can use. You can even use your own arm. Just don't really be swinging very fast or very hard. Don't knock your child out, okay? But you're going to have your child face you right here. They're going to drop down into that horse stance, and you're going to kind of try to see if you can trick them. If I throw it on this side, they had to block with this hand. If I have 2 of them, you can do, if I throw it on this side, they have to block with this side. So we'll pull out 2 blockers. Yeah, 2 blockers. So remember, if I throw on this side, they're using the same side. But if I throw the blocker that's on this side, they have to block with this side. And I can mix it up. I can keep hitting with the same side. He doesn't know. I'm not going to count him down. He just has to pay attention. Ding, ding, ding. Both of them. If I hit them on the head, drop it. Wait. Then I win. If they can beat you for, say, 5 times, you can't catch them on the head, then they win. And you can start speeding it up too. I was doing it pretty slow so you guys can see what we're doing. But when we really get going, I do this drill with little dragons. Those 4-year-olds, man, they're super fast, and usually they end up beating me. So see if you can beat your kids on this game. Now the other one is going to be our knife hand. So I'm going to have you show my piece of camera right there. He's going to drop down to this horse stance. Now the drills that we have them doing for belt testing, they're going to be moving up and down the floor doing this knife hand. Now sometimes when they start moving, they're so focused on their legs, they're not paying attention to what their hands are doing. So to break down, we're not going to worry about moving up and down, we're just going to break down our knife hand. So he's going to go ahead and hold out knife hand. Things you check for, the thumb is tucked in, all fingers are squeezed together, and the part he's actually making contact with is, I'm just going to have you turn your head now this way, is this meaty part right here. Now, you'll notice when we start getting into board breaks and things like that, a lot of times, especially when they're hitting these targets, we'll catch them hitting these foam targets, problem with that. There's no pain involved, so there's no feedback to tell them, hey, I hit with the wrong part of the hand. So I got a drill or a game that they're gonna play that's gonna be instant feedback, it's not gonna hurt them, and it's kind of fun too. You notice he already turns that hand up. Every technique, upper body technique, you'll notice even the punches have what's called a little twist to it. That's what gets that extra snap. He's gonna do it super slow, and at the very last second before he hits the target, he flips that hand over right there so he can hit with the right part. Again, he's gonna do it loaded upside down. He's gonna push it out, and at the very last second, bam, it snaps over. And he has to focus on keeping those fingers together and that thumb tucked in. So, one of the games we play, and I do this in Little Dragons class all the time, is I'll have a square target. You see the word century right there? It's conveniently placed right there in the middle of the bag. And that's where when you do a knife hand strike, that's where you want to hit is the middle of the target. And when we do board breaks, that's exactly where you want to hit is that T right there. So he's going to load it up. Now, I'm going to put it about his shoulder level. Now, if you don't have a target like this, you can use a styrofoam cup or a plastic cup. If you have a plastic 2-liter bottle and you put a little piece of tape on there, just something in the center that shows them where the target, where they want to hit. So you have to balance it right here in your hand. If he hits it correct, it hits it right here on this T, it should fly straight back. If he hits it with the wrong part of the hand on the edges, it's going to do something funky. It won't go straight. So he's going to go ahead and drop down that horse stance. He's going to pull that hand back. He's looking at the target, and when I say go, he's going to smack it. 1, 2, 3, zoop, and it went straight back, just like I expected a third degree to do. So this is a cool game. My dragons love doing this game. I know the older kids are going to love doing this game. So if you have one of these century bags, great, use those. If you don't have one of these, then you can use, like I said, a plastic cup. You can use a empty 2-liter bottle. Just put like a little marker spot on there and have them do it. See how many times they can do it and have it go straight forward. This is going to be instant feedback. If it's going straight, you know that they're hitting it with the correct part of the hand. If they do happen to hit it with their pinky, they're going to start to feel it. It's not going to hurt, but they're going to feel it and know that, hey, I hit it with my finger and not the right part of my hand, and they'll start fixing it on their own. Make sure you take those videos, those pictures. Make sure you send them. If you got questions about this drill, go ahead and send me a comment or send it to Mr. Mancata. We love answering your questions. Guys, we miss having you up here. We can't wait to get back in touch with you guys, so make sure you send us those pictures and videos. We'll see you next time.